Hey, welcome everybody. Hey.
Yeah.
That's vital. Okay, there you go. I see it.
Hey, welcome everybody. It is Vital. Welcome to the show. It is Lady Woo. The crew is in the building. The Vital Vixens are here. Ladies, introduce yourselves, please.
What's up, y'all? It's Jeter.
Hey y'all, it's Tiffany the Bombshell.
Blacks in the building. Hello.
Hey, we have special guests in studio as well. We'll get to you in like 2 seconds and in the virtual studio too. So we're all here the Sunday before we give thanks officially. That's the day that we call Thanksgiving. So this is that show. But there is so much to talk about. So we're going to get straight into our talk topics. Local news, national news. Just a lot to cover. Second half of the show. Second half of the first hour and the second hour, the Blue Vision Center will be in talking about what they're doing right now and educating us on some diabetes awareness as it relates to the eyes. So yeah, all of that's coming up in studio. In studio, we have a friend of ours, Miss Jessica Rimbert, and in the virtual studio, her husband, Mr. Kenneth Rimbert. Welcome, you all, both of you.
It's good to be here. Hey, everybody.
How y'all doing? Hey.
You're all right.
We are amazingly great. So, Kenny, are you in here? Yeah, he's in here.
I'm here. Hey, how y'all doing? It's good to be here. Hey.
Good at your hood.
Hey, husband.
Hey, Javi.
Hey, boo.
One time for everybody viewing on social media and waiting on this topic is one of the hot topics. And we have to cover our local news and national news. So let's start with some local news and what makes it vital. And is it really news? Maybe not to some people, but I felt like it was necessary to talk about what everybody talks about in their own circles and around the water cooler and in their inboxes and in their text messages. Everybody talks about everybody's business, even if it doesn't pertain to them, even if they don't need to, right?
Yeah.
I just almost cussed. But yeah, that's
what people do.
That's what they do. They talk and then they like to spread stuff without the facts. And then they like to make their own story to the story. And then they even like to tell somebody else as if they were there and they saw it. What are you doing?
Yeah, and by the time it gets back around,
it's wrong.
Right.
Somebody show inboxed me and was like, "What's up with the church folk?"
Go to church and find out.
I don't know them people.
Go on here, go. See for yourself.
Right. So therefore, we said, well, let's bring it to the airwaves, and that way the narrative can be told from the people who are involved, as opposed to somebody else telling you what they think and how they feel about a situation. So the Rembrandts are here. How y'all doing? First of all,
I'm doing well.
Better.
Yeah.
All this happened kind of made me feel kind of mentally there, but I'm gonna push forward and I'm doing better.
Good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm great.
I'm awesome. All is well. Kenny, how did you take on that great attitude before we tell everybody what really happened? Like, how did you take on that attitude about the situation?
Honestly, it was just kind of made easy for me. So, like, when they said it, like, it was like, okay. Honestly, I felt it coming, and I always kind of knew that the season was going to come to an end. I just didn't expect for it to come to an end like that. But it was kind of like, okay, cool. And then the situation was so messy before it even made it to Facebook or anything like that. It was easy to kind of take on that attitude.
Gotcha. I understand. And then, that's kind of like the role of husband in most situations. Like, hey, you know what? Even if I'm not okay, I'm going to say that I am. But I really do believe that Kenny's okay because I know Kenny. So,
right.
Jessica, you said, what you say, Kenny?
Give it time, Then I start kind of thinking about, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and just how much there was that I didn't like. And, it's kind of like when a man breaks up with a person
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, okay, they're great for the first part, and then later on, they start thinking, and then they kind of realize, oh man, that's I shouldn't have did that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's that's where I am right now. Right now, I'm in the great feeling stage.
Okay. So, Jessica, for you, you said that the feeling was different. But I first of all want to go into what we're talking about because everybody that's tuned in is probably wanting to hear because they already know. But then there are other people who have no clue what we're even discussing. So, when we talk about news stories, local and national, or just our personal stories, we tell the backstory. So, here in Birmingham, there's a musical circle. We know that we have a very tight knit circle for the most part, filled with artists who play in the church and in the secular world. People who sing and lead praise teams at the church, and then they go sing on the stage on Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Tuesdays and Mondays. I mean, that's how we gig, right? So this is the life that a lot of us live. We live dual roles, but we still, we keep our callings first. We do our jobs and we put things into places. Jessica, so would you like to tell your part of what happened the way that you want to tell it?
Yes, and I'll be brief. I want to clear up any misconceptions or anything. I don't wish any ill will towards anyone. I'm okay. I'll deal with it. This has not happened the first time. This has happened to me before. Going back to the backstory of that photo, I am a model and I have been for the past of 9-10 years. I took a long hiatus. And after I had my baby, I just decided to get back out there and, just try it and see if it'll work. And I did. And I started this brand ambassador program with Silver Fox Studios. Shout out to them. And I did a boudoir type style photo. And just dropping facts, it did not sit well with my husband's job.
Okay.
And they then, I hate this, y'all. It's just, like it's been bothering me. Like,
yeah, take your time.
Like it really has, because I didn't want my husband to be affected by this. But they told him it did not represent the church well, so he needed to take it down. And if he didn't take it down, he was going to be suspended effectively for 2 weeks without pay. And if he didn't take it down after that, he was never going to let him go. What people don't understand and know is that photo is under contract. I cannot take it down unless they have the retail value to buy me and the other signer out. I cannot take it down.
Okay.
So with all that, they basically forced my husband to choose me. And now my husband is being made to feel bad for choosing me.
Wow.
And I don't wish any ill will on anyone, because like I've said, I've been there before with my home church. This happened to me before.
When it happened before, was it about pictures as well?
Yeah, just mostly just about things that I would do in my home church, ministries that I would go into that I did too much of as far as dancing and things of that nature. That kind of caused the issue and a problem with people and to why I would dance and why I'm always in the spotlight. Stupid stuff. This stuff is just grown so big, and it's not even that deep. But sometimes in your transition, things happen and it make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable, but that's okay, because I'm going to keep modeling. My husband going to keep playing them keys. We're going to keep doing what we need to do. I just wish everyone that was well in it, but I just want to clear up all misconceptions. My husband was not fired. He resigned.
Gotcha.
And I appreciate my husband for sticking up to me, and I love you so much. Like,
well, I love you too.
You just don't know how much I appreciate you for sticking up for me when other people wouldn't.
All right. Third Sunday is DMR, dating, mating, and relating, and that is the epitome of what love and marriage looks like. We're not even doing that topic per se, but it was timely and necessary, honestly, on so many levels. So you think about Kirk Franklin when he went through his situation in porn. You think about Fantasia and how it was difficult for her to cross over. You think about Leandria Johnson, her issues with alcoholism and whatever else they say she did that they didn't like. Megan Good was married to a minister, and everybody thought it was cute, it was nice, it was easy, it was sweet, and then boom, now they divorced. And so many others who have these different situations where ministry leads, but then life follows, and people don't know how to live life in balance. That's my motto for life, period. I live life in balance. You may see me Wednesday twerking somewhere.
Wow, alrighty.
Hey.
My dad had been a preacher my whole life, but that, first of all, that's him. That's the first part. Secondly, I understand my life and my calling too. And what I'm hearing is that you do as well, right?
Exactly.
You
And it
understand
doesn't
what
make
you're
Oh, yeah.
doing.
no less of a Christian, a mom, or a wife. I'm still
Mm.
the same mom. I'm still the same wife, and I'm still the Christian. I'm growing in my spiritual journey with God.
That's what's up.
So nobody can judge me or demonize me or make me feel bad about anything except for God. So I'm just gonna keep pushing and keep modeling. And I'm sorry to who all it affected. I don't want that, but at this point, it's just like
I'm looking at her face because you said you were sorry for all who were affected.
it's just me. It's just me. It's really honestly, this is just how I've always grown up. Just to be, I'm woman enough to know. Okay, yes, I am, and people take advantage of that, and it's just like no matter how many times I get taken advantage of, this is me. This is just me,
All right.
and I'm okay with everything. I was hurt and I was sad for 3 weeks, but that's cool. It is what it is. I wish him well.
And you're going to keep taking
And I'ma
pictures and
keep
posting, and
taking
your husband going to keep
pictures,
playing and
and
getting
I'm gonna have
gigs
more
and making
thigh
money.
meat on y'all timeline. More thigh meat on your timeline.
Hey, so Ashley the barber just made a comment. The ministry goes beyond the church, and we were talking about that off the air, where I said, "Who's to reach those who don't do what there's a generational divide when it comes to how we express ourselves. We have social media, whereas our elders and elders didn't, and so we are more open with the things that we do, what we say, how we feel, what we wear, where we go. We're open." Whereas they weren't and they aren't, but we know that things happen and we know that they were equally involved in things, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
how do you all, I talked to the two of you all directly, and then we're gonna jump all over this because we have our own stories as well, and I'm sure a lot of you who are watching do too, right?
Right.
Knowing, about the church, and when I say the church, I mean the church in general, the church as a whole, and like I said, bring the church folk to the screen because we're talking tonight. When it comes to the church, Kenny, have your fingers been numbed, or are you still serving in that way? Are you still looking forward to serving in that way?
Well, I'll say it like this. There have been offers since I made the initial post. Which I didn't make the initial post about me not being affiliated with that particular organization to cause all this commotion or trouble or anything like that for anybody. I made it to make it known that my availability has grown.
Hey.
And so even
Right.
after that, I mean, okay, so like availability, people question your availability because of who you committed to. And that's just what that is. Like usually if they know you're busy, they're not going to ask. I hate that, but that's why I had to make that. Like I made that for that particular reason. And so while it is that I've gotten offers to be a part of people's ministries and things of that nature, today was my first Sunday in 19 years since the age of 8 that I haven't been employed at a church.
How was that for you?
It was interesting. Like I turned off all my alarms after I resigned from all my Sunday alarms, and my biological clock still woke me up.
Of course.
It's just is what it is. I woke up before my daughter did. And so for what it's worth, like, yeah, it was an adjustment, but I do see life a little bit different now. And I actually asked the question. I was like, what do y'all do? What do y'all do on Sundays? Like, like that's what it is. Like, because for the better part of 19 years, between the hours of sometimes 8, sometimes 9, and 12 or 1 or 2 o'clock.
And then evening programs and then revivals and all that.
It feels like, I've missed a lot. And while I've been involved in not just the church scene, but the secular scene, between that, I've almost had no time to do that. It almost kind of makes me feel like I've neglected almost in a sense my family and my wife. And like, that's what happens. And a lot of times you do it in the name of going to get the money that night, or you do it for the sake of ministry that morning. And so right now, while it is that I'm praying on it, I'm still going to pray on it. I'm always going to listen to the Lord. I'm not in a rush to go back.
I understand.
I'm not in a rush to go back. I may take time and spend time trying to figure out what it's like to just go to church.
Amen. Amen.
Instead of being a part of what happens in the choir room or the back office or pastor's office or anything that's related to or touching money or anything like that when it comes to the church. Right. Because people don't realize it's way different when you have to be there versus when you just get to go there.
Being a pew member versus being somebody that's actually a leader in the church.
Pew member.
Right.
Old school self.
Pew member. Because I
church balls,
believe it or not, I'm a church kid.
What was that? Like, I need to know who in the church.
I mean,
Kenny,
I used to be there.
Right. I respect. I totally understand and appreciate what you said. Like, those moments come where you just want to be able to be. And I felt that way when my dad left the church he had been at for 17 years. Like that same day when he resigned, half the folk walked out talking about where we going next week. Hopefully y'all going home. Because if you following him, that means we got to be doing something different. And I really just kind of want to go be a pew member and sing in the choir and lead songs and do whatever I want to do, not being obligated. It's that obligation,
Right.
So I get that.
Not obligated by association or money.
Right. I just want to worship, right? Don't ask me to do nothing. So I totally understand that. So you're gonna take a little time. Jessica, what are you gonna be doing?
Well, I'm gonna also take some time with him because we need each other right now.
Amen.
We need to cling to each other and just be around our daughter and do stuff on the weekends. Now we can actually go on a trip and don't have to be back.
Oh,
right?
See,
what? We can actually, do that. I just want to cling to my husband and make sure that we all, good.
And now that I really think about it, it's kind of like I would leave.
I've been apologizing to him for 3 weeks. Like I felt so bad.
And I've been like,
I'm like, it's
why?
because of me.
He's been like, why?
Why?
Because I said,
that's just me. It goes back to the nicest sweetness.
And for every apology, I've always been like,
I love
thank
you,
you,
baby, and thank you.
I love you too, but it's been like, thank you because you launched me somewhere. Like you launched me somewhere that by normal standards, I probably should have been somewhere a long time ago. And it was always told to me, that you're not going, if it's up to you, you're not going to leave to pursue what you want.
Wow.
You've been tied to church ministry so long, you think that, church ministry is like it,
the only ministry.
And not necessarily that I ever thought it was the only ministry, but that was the only ministry for me. And so that when that whole thing kind of came about, it was just kind of like I never put myself above church. Like I made decisions for the church that had absolutely nothing to do with them. I made that all that stuff that was happening, and this is not just for the church that this happened at. This was beforehand with every other church that I've been at. Right. There were sometimes when I was at church 6 days a week. Yeah, working a shift, and so beforehand, if that was happening when I had my wife and my daughter, one thing wasn't going to work out, the church or my family. And that was just one of those things. No, I'm not negotiating anything when it comes to my family.
Right.
Right. And so when it came down to it, I had to reorder things once that happened. God first. Because I'm naturally selfless, I'm putting my family first.
Right, as you should.
And then I take care of me, and then everything else follows. For a while, it was just God, family, and it's almost like the church was kind of creeping up to that equal status for a minute, and I just, I didn't like that.
And it's because we tied that place and those people into our relationship with our God. And that's where a lot of people get sidetracked and distracted. Before we get out of here, or before you two get out of here, I know there's something that's going on tonight that you are part of. Anything that you want to say directly to the people about this situation, about where you're going, about what you're doing, and what you expect from them as people who've always supported you?
I expect people to, number one, accept the truth. And trust me, I have no reason to lie, and I'm a terrible liar. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, for what it's worth, I don't know how often, I haven't seen as far as Tuesday or Wednesday as far as this has gone. But all I'm saying is, let's just let it die. Let's just let it die. It's not okay. Let me tell you something. The church gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
The church
For a
gonna keep
minute.
moving,
Yeah,
doing what
they
it's
move for a
doing.
minute. Yeah.
I mean, and I hope it keeps moving as long as it can before God says it's time for it to happen. Like it's time for the church to, come to its end. But I'm gonna keep moving too, and my wife is gonna keep moving. And at the end of the day, I have a responsibility to Jessica and Kennedy Renee Rembert first.
All right.
And that's what I got.
All right. Thank you, Kenny. I like that.
He said the mouthful. I agree.
So he said it all.
Yes, he said it is. That's my sentiments exactly.
All right. So you have heard from the Remberts for the final time about this situation. The picture is really beautiful.
They so equally yoked. It's just like, girl, where you find them at?
Somewhere sitting down playing some piano.
At the
or
church.
something.
Find him in the church.
Yeah, keep it loud. Like more conversation like this every week. But then these type conversations are so vital, so necessary because they bring about other things. And our guest that's coming on after, who's not a guest, also a part of the Vital Show, a pastor who has openly talked about different situations and lived life out loud too. But we're not talking about that tonight unless he wants to, because we are going to talk about more once you all are out of the studio. So they can't say, well, they said, no, we said.
Lexi.
Right.
So that's coming up next. So keep it locked if you want to be a part of the conversation. If you have questions, if you want to talk about the role of the church, it is Thanksgiving week. And I would expect that people are really grateful and thankful for the role of whatever they believe in. Like, I don't know what people believe in, but I would think that this is the time where you really are thoughtful and in that season of thankfulness and gratefulness and not having to dissect what the church do. What the church folks say. So that's what we're going to talk about when we come back, just for a few minutes. I thank you all so much for coming on tonight and kind of absolutely. I won't even say clearing the air because you kind of did that already. But just saying it one more time out loud to the masses at one time about what it is, and we'll handle the rest.
No third now.
Yeah, this is time.
This is it. That's all.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching Vital on V94.9 WATV. Don't go nowhere. Keep it locked.
V94.9 WATV with designer t-shirts and apparel. T-Mills Realty, Blue Vision Center.
All right.
I can see it on the camera.
Stores in McCall. And be Grace Moon Grace this.
Y'all don't do hugs.
I just put my hair a little down. It was very good to meet you.
Y'all do hugs.
I smile and ass love. She be smelling this stuff all the time.
Nice to meet you well.
I don't know.
Good evening.
I be at home with my baby. I'll be in the street.
Huh? It's a bar.
Have fun tonight.
Is it purple in there?
Girl, how old your baby?
I ain't never been here.
Mine's 4 months. I get it. What's your time? Up here. Boy, Cairo. He is a cute bag. I'm going to add you. All right.
What did you do to your hair? The specific way Eucrisa works is not well defined. Prescription Eucrisa for mild to moderate eczema is for topical use only in ages 3 months and up.
Yeah.
Do not use if you are allergic to Eucrisa, Crisaboral ointment 2%, or its ingredients. Allergic reactions including hives, itching, sores, and redness may occur at or near the application site. The most common side effects is
Don't be going out.
Where you go?
Church.
What? I don't even much go there.
I don't be doing that evil.
I watch it on TV.
Who you watch?
I've been watching Highlands.
I'm
Don't
gonna be
say
watching
that.
Highlands. I ain't say that.
My husband.
Girl, don't
already
even
said-
do me like that.
He said we done.
That's the last church I went to. It was Highlands.
Well, why y'all don't like Highlands?
I didn't say I ain't like it. I am. I'm fit too.
It's kind of cultish. It's kind of cultish.
I like the work they do in the community.
So are those people that be like, Pastor Mike said.
Sound like my husband.
Ow! Ow! Oh, they can't see me. Ow.
What's wrong with it? I hit leave. I hit leave. I thought the show was over. So I hit leave. Hey.
You need to go to somebody's club that you gotta do display.
What's the clean version? This is fun. Look at church. They just want to have my baby. Born in the 80s, straight baby. In the streets, so get some raisins. Right, couldn't get it from my mama, so I got it off the block. Been working my whole life, but I ain't never punched the clock. 9 years old, I seen them get shot. Niggas run their mouth when they get jammed.
Oh man, Young Dolph right there. B90.9 WATV Vital is back. The V stands for Vital on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. I know some of you were like, well, who is that? That's Young Dolph. Let me play a bit more of that.
Then made boss move. She like the artist.
So I finished the law school.
With your dog, no matter what. Same. She claims she love you. She'll shut you up. Out here in the streets, it ain't no such thing as love. The only thing I trust is the pistol and the slugs. Leech.
Yeah. So right there, everybody's been talking about Young Dolph, and I know a lot of people just kind of don't know the music. We know the music. Earlier in the week, we saw and got breaking news about the murder of Young Dolph in Memphis, Tennessee, in his hometown. At home, getting some cookies. We don't know if he was leaving town or just, chilling at home. Is at home? You should be able to chill, right? But no, that's not what happened. And we also know that there have been other attempts to kill Young Dolph, like major attempts. There was one shooting where his head was shot up over 100 times. And there was another situation where he was actually hit and had to have surgery after another shooting. And then this one is the one that took him out. So, I mean, there are so many different stories. But the bottom line is, what to you all? Like, what is your bottom line when it comes to hearing about another young Black rapper with whatever type of history they have, being able to do things that they're doing now, being killed?
I mean, when I hear stuff like that, I always think about, okay, well, regardless of what your status is or where you make it to, you have to always keep in mind that there are still those same people from your past that still may have issues with you. Don't care nothing about you making it to stardom and still gonna get you. Or still have this animosity and they still gonna get you when you try to get your cookies.
Like it's always on site, no matter what.
No matter what. You going to see your grandma on site, going to Walmart on site. Like, you have to always keep that kind of stuff in mind. So, Woo, when you make it big, don't be trying to come back here and get no American cookies.
I ain't really, as far as I'm concerned, but look, like as far as I'm concerned, we don't think that we've done anything to anybody to warrant that, right?
We don't. So, okay, so here's my line of thinking in regards to Dolph, right? And this is just solely based on his music. I don't know him personally. But based on his music, it's one of those things where when you live by the streets, you die by the streets, right? So if we're solely basing your lifestyle on what you rap about, that's just what it is. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, and that's just the type of lifestyle that he lived. And it's unfortunate, but you got to get out and really mean it. So you made it big. You can always come back to the community and give back, but you don't have to physically be there in order for the impacts to be felt.
Okay. Tiff?
Well, I think that you should be able to walk around your neighborhood.
Right.
And I think he still lived in
Home in
Memphis.
Memphis, right?
But my thing is just like, why are we so concerned with what other people have? Like, why can't we just walk up to people and say, hey, what did you do to get that? Instead of living with jealousy and all those things. But I think that you should be able to still walk around your city and not have to drive a bulletproof vehicle.
But then that's another thing.
That
If
says
you
a lot,
have to
too.
drive a bulletproof vehicle, bruh, why are you here outside of your bulletproof
But
vehicle?
my thing is, they would shoot him in Hollywood, so it's
They
not.
did.
It
Yeah, they
wasn't
did.
in Memphis where he was.
But if I'm gonna shoot you in Hollywood, then I'm definitely bound to catch you
At home.
in Memphis.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. You got to get out. You got to go. Technically, realistically, he should be able to come back. That's with anybody. But again, you a ticket, and that's how people see you. It ain't really no rhythm, no rhyme, no reason as to why people see you as a ticket. But if I can knock your head off and get your bread, shoot, and then, you know. And they weren't even after him for bread.
No,
'Cause
they
they
ain't
ain't
even
taking
taking
it.
it.
They just
Yeah.
wanted
But
to kill
you
him.
don't know what kind of money was on his head. They might have got the bread from somebody else.
So then there are all of the conspiracies, all of the accusations and thoughts about the label that he's connected to and other artists who are a part of the label that have been killed the same way, that were also involved in real estate. They were involved in, they had their own rights and their own masters and things like that. And then all of a sudden, some situation happens where they're killed. So we're listening, we're watching. Last we know, they found the car. And according to the videos, they should definitely be able to find the people. Like somebody knows who's standing like that shooting. Like you know this person with them shoes, right?
Okay, so we know.
They didn't
We
already
know.
start finding different people in Memphis that had the hat, the Bass Pro Shop hat,
Okay.
and they did find that some former artists of his.
Mhm.
They're young, but they found, like the social media investigators, they found the house in one of the rap videos. That's where they parked the car in the back.
Look
where
at
the police
Caroline
found the
Mason
car.
over here. Look
Ah,
at look at
This is Tiffany reporting live.
I mean, she said, she told us yesterday, I go home and I investigate.
Yes.
We appreciate it. So one little snippet from Dolph, and then we're going to go to somebody else and some music that we weren't fond of this week. Y'all hold tight. Listen to this. Check it out. Yeah, young Dolph, rest in peace. Hopefully, this will come to some type of end. I know, like as far as the case goes, we want that to come to an end. We want them arrested. We want what needs to be done to be done. We're listening for that. Let's switch gears a little bit. We're gonna be listening and reporting on Dolph, but this right here. Did any of you all watch Versus? Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. Yeah, nay.
I didn't, because like I turned and I saw Stephanie Mills singing, and I was like,
You don't like Stephanie Mills?
Power finna come on.
Oh, okay. Listen to this. Listen.
What I'm doing is gotta pay some way. Somehow, little baby cries. My son is on his mind. This world's full of lies. You and me, one of a kind. So good love stand behind every step we apply to faith. That's
I
Okay.
sound better than that in the shower.
Okay. Tan, I see you
can't
jamming, but that was real. That was Shaka Khan doing her versus performance on Thursday. Shaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills. It was something to look forward to. We grew up on that. We grew up on Sweet Thing. It's Shaka Khan. Y'all, I don't know. So we do know about the path of addiction and how that could creep back in. And some people are saying that. Versus was sponsored by Ciroc, so other people are saying that she just had too much to drink. I thought I was witnessing a medical emergency unfolding. I really did.
Because somebody need to call the ambulance.
Yes, and I'm like, so I know somebody else on the set saw this happening. Why is she performing? What is
I'm
this?
gonna have to go back and watch the video.
You really need to go
It
back.
shouldn't have been
It
that
was so
bad.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed, like me. I was. I was like, damn, what is going on? It really blew my mind that her camp allowed her to come out like that. So she's staggering. She was
Yeah, I want to let you do
disoriented.
that.
I'm grateful.
Like, you would have had to fight me because I wouldn't let you.
I'm
do
going
that.
out there anyway.
No, you're not.
I came to sing. Go
No.
sit down, and we gonna go to the car because you're not gonna go out there like that. So then the manager comes out
Embarrassing
and
me.
changes her shoes. Baby, this ain't a shoe issue.
Well, what kind of shoes she had on in the first place?
One of some heels at first, and then she put on some boots, and it was like still, no words, didn't know the words.
She
was
wasn't
really
sitting
confused.
down. She was standing up.
When it was time for her to sing. Yes, yeah, it was really
child.
I
bad.
would go watch it.
You gotta
It
go
was
find right
really,
now.
it was really bad, and I don't even exaggerate about things being a little bad
You
or
don't.
really bad. This was really bad. She's a legend,
She is.
and to get out there like that, to not know her own words, to have to have Stephanie Mills try to fill in and help on each
Oh.
song.
So Stephanie won.
I don't know who. No, it was bad.
Nobody won.
I'm praying for them. No. All right. So that happened. There were other things that happened this week. Let's switch gears. And you all feel free to jump in on this because Dr. Blue is at the mic and she's just smiling. Girl, jump in on these topics because this happened to all. We all witnessed this week. We all lived through this stuff this week. Rittenhouse. Ain't that his name?
That's
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Cow. Marshmallow face. Yeah. So he gets off. Kyle
Well, I heard
Rittenhouse.
that at work. I wasn't even supposed to be on my phone.
Oh, so what did you do?
I turned around and told everybody, hey.
Hold on,
You
wait a
told
minute.
I turned around,
You work with his cousins, don't-
girl,
Yeah.
I turned around and told his cousins, hey, y'all cousin got out.
and that's interesting. So, how did they react to it?
Because first of
Can-
all, you weren't supposed to be on your phone. So how did they react to that?
They pulled their phone out. Too. Good. She lying. Like, they were all like, oh my God, you are not serious. Like, they were surprised that
That's
he got
interesting.
off.
I mean, it was rather surprising. So Kyle Rittenhouse, everybody knows now, went to Kenosha when oh man, I can't think
Was
of
it
the
David? Jacob Blake.
Jacob
That's
Blake.
his name.
When Jacob Blake was shot, not killed, but shot and paralyzed, and the protest happened. Kyle Rittenhouse gets dropped off over there with a
By
gun-
his mama.
by his marshmallow face mama. She drops him off over there with an assault rifle that wasn't his because he was only 17. And I guess he was going to patrol because he felt that would be the patriotic thing to do or whatever he thought. So he goes and he starts walking up and down the street. Then he feels threatened because people see you walking with this big gun and they're threatened. So they probably start pointing and saying, oh, what is he doing? Where is he going? And he said that he was attacked and that he was provoked. And so that's why he shot the gun and he went over there across the line with. That's what he said. And it got him off. That's what happened.
I cut somebody out because I was provoked and I get Facebook jail time.
Yeah.
Like, and I do be getting provoked. And all I did was cuss. And I'm in Facebook jail, but he can be provoked and kill
he
somebody.
really killed
and
some
he get
people.
off.
Right,
Like,
can't go
I'm
to
trying to
jail.
understand.
But then he killed two white men.
That's
and then
what's
he injured
troubling.
another one.
That that's what's more like when you get off for killing white people.
But they were at a black event.
I mean, I get that. So they just might as well be black,
Mm.
but in all physicalities, they were white. So when you get off for killing white people,
Mhm.
like we just need to be real nervous. We already nervous, but we should be really nervous now because he didn't kill his own kind.
10 years to the day of George Zimmerman getting off for killing Trayvon Martin, who definitely was just walking with the hood on and some tea and Skittles. And he was killed. And Zimmerman got off. Same defense, stand your ground. But this ain't your ground. Like you came over here with your gun. Like, what's happening here? So is this worth us having a full conversation about, or has everybody talked about it and now we're just really upset and don't want to talk about it anymore?
I mean, what do you talk about? What we'll need to talk about is when we see him years down the road doing something else.
And that's what,
Because he's 18 now. He's 18, he's white, and he's privileged. Now he is 18, white, privileged, and entitled because he got off. He's going to do something else. He's going to resurface.
For sure.
So that's what we'll talk about.
So let's watch that. He lacks empathy, and those are signs of a sociopath. And he was taught or told that he should get up there and cry, and nobody bought it.
Yep.
Okay, so we're watching for it was he's already
Horrible.
ugly. So we're watching for that. We're watching for that. Also this week, what else happened this week? There were so many things. Let me find our list.
What there were some the baby that was shot
Oh yes.
in was it Avondale?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
road rage
Chris-
drove. That's what they say. That's what they say.
And that's really confusing too. Road rage. Okay, whatever.
That's what the reports say. The streets say otherwise. And
Streets
Vital gets all reports. And you don't like to just throw things out, but we do like to say things that make sense. And the story is that this young boy was being picked up from school by his mom, and then 2 other people were in the car with them. And somebody let off a
lot of
whole
rounds.
situation of bullets, and the car was struck, and the little boy was hit the most. And that's what's really puzzling people. Well, like with all these adults sitting in the way, how was this child struck this way?
Streets talking.
The streets are talking, and they are talking
And-
about how that happened to the child in the car with the adults. But we'll
Right.
wait. We'll wait.
Yeah, we going.
We just want you all to be very much aware of the stories that come out and what makes sense and why our children are being put in this type of danger from being with people who they trust. I used to ask my daughter and my nephew, do you all feel safe with me? I would just ask because I wanted to know. Nobody ever asked their children, do they feel safe? Do y'all ask your kids that? Do you feel safe with me?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know. Like as a parent, is that something that you really have to like? Do you feel safe with me?
Yeah,
Unless
absolutely.
You know.
Have you ever asked your child, do they feel safe? And what if they don't? And then they tell you, no, I don't, Ma. You never asked. You would be mad, but then you would want to know, well, why not? Because you
Now,
drive
I've never
real
asked
crazy.
my daughter if she feels safe with me, but years ago, God has changed me.
Mhm.
But years ago, she wouldn't tell me certain things because she knew how I would fly off.
Mhm.
So I had to just do some correcting of myself then because I wanted our relationship to be completely open.
Right.
And again, because she knew that I would cut up, she just wouldn't tell me certain things.
Right.
Okay. And that's how the kid is with me. She won't tell me certain things because she know I'll cut up.
Well, then,
But there are certain things she will tell me so I can cut up.
yeah, no.
So I need to
no.
fix that.
Yeah, you got to fix that.
I will. Thanks.
And it's the whole idea of, this is the side where you hear things about other children who see the signs in their parents, but they trust, this is the person that's supposed to care for me, but do I feel safe? No, but this is my parent. So
And
yeah.
I have one of those parents. I do. I have a parent who I never felt safe with.
Mhm.
And I just shared a story with my mom a couple of days ago about my dad. In a situation that he got himself into. Long story short, he beat up this man real bad. And the man had like something that belonged to my dad. So after you beat the man up, you want me to go retrieve your property. You just beat this man up, sir. And he's like, well, he ain't gonna do nothing till you go get it. And I'm like, what?
Like, so I'm so-and-so's daughter who just beat you up.
Yeah, but you have to know my dad. You don't tell him no, you just kind of do what he say do. So I went and
My
got
dad,
it.
I don't feel safe.
But I have one of those parents. I've never felt safe with my dad.
So you kind of get where I'm going with that. Like, I'll get in the car with you. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I didn't have a choice.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
not having a
look,
choice.
So my brother, he might be listening because he just called me.
Thanks for listening, brother. Did you feel safe? So thinking about like how we have our children or how children are put in these situations and they don't really have an outlet to say, man, look, these folk back here sitting with me, they sketchy. But I mean, who am I supposed to walk? Am I supposed to ride the bus? Like, they don't have those options. So we have to do a better job as parents and the village when we see and hear things about how children are being cared for or not. Like, no, that's not how you care for children. Anything else happening in the news this week? Protect our children. That's very important because that's not the first, second, or third within the past couple of months. And just on that same day, in the same week, there was a memorial for another baby that was actually killed last year.
Baby Major.
Baby Major would have been 3 this past week.
And
died
then
by gun
Cupcake
violence.
just happened the October.
Yeah. So more children.
More
that,
children.
Yeah.
Parents, you guys
Based
just
on
have
some
to
grown
do-
folks mess.
Yeah.
Yup. So anything else happened this week that we need to discuss?
Not that I can think of.
There was so much, and
It
there's
was.
much more. So for all other news stories that have been covered and that we neglected to talk about on air, be sure to visit our Facebook page at Vital Show. You can always check out Lady Woo during the week and anytime for news and updates on things that are happening, breaking news, news stories locally, just everything. Go and check our pages out. In studio, we're gonna get with the blues. Blue Vision Center is in the building. Dr. Latandra Blue is here. Hey, Tan.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good, thanks.
Awesome. Blue sitting over in the corner. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, every topic that we've discussed is like a blue topic from the very beginning to now. And he decided he was going to come sit over there like he's not a part of the show. That's really confusing to me. But hey, I don't like calling people out, so I will not.
Because you ain't just do that.
Because I just did. What up, bruh?
What up?
What you thought you was going to do?
I was chilling. That's a very touchy subject.
All of them?
Well,
Did you hear the first one?
yeah.
That one? That one,
Nah.
but did you hear about the preacher and the church and the minister of music? And
I just-
okay. All right. So yeah. Yeah, welcome to the show, y'all. It's been a minute. You are here in a different capacity today, but any thoughts that you may have had? Like I was in, this is what makes us real and relatable. People come get their eyes checked because you have opinions.
I just find it that a pastor who went to prison
Okay. All right, Blue.
for, whatever, innocent or not, to be so crucial. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, these days the church is, since the church is changing, the church has changed. Church will never be the same. And it's time for church to stop being churchy. And just like, I don't know. I looked at the picture out there. I don't think it was that bad, honestly. I think if the husband and the wife, or should I say the wife and the husband, because it's her body, if she felt okay with it, then hey. And I just feel like it's so much other stuff in the church that you can identify that would embarrass the church or get a church a bad name. So when you do stuff like that, you set yourself up on a pedestal and you set yourself up to where you have to be perfect, because if you're not, they're gonna slay you and it's gonna look bad on the church.
It's
So
gonna look really strange. I appreciate that. I appreciate that statement. I thought it would have come up earlier, but
I ain't scared.
right. So and
You
I
told us to wait.
She did. That what she did. That what she
until they
did.
left, and y'all didn't even go to it.
Because
So
we went to commercial.
oh, you missed your opportunity.
Oh.
So with a pastor and first lady, like I mean, of course, I don't see my mama doing it now. Like,
Right.
why would you, what are you doing, ma'am?
Your mama doing what?
Posting a picture in a sheet.
Your mama might hop out. Don't
What's
you?
wrong
Don't
with
you?
Angie?
Don't you?
I'm like, she might be going through a change. I don't know. But is there a difference if a pastor's wife does it as opposed to a minister's wife? I mean, a minister of music's wife, a deacon's wife, or a trustee's wife? Is it levels to it?
I actually posed that question to him out there when I was listening to the story. And I said, what if that was me? And he said, what did you say?
I wouldn't want her to be so. Perception is reality.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I still fight people, I wouldn't want her to
Yes,
necessarily
sir.
be on there. So I would just like, look, for the sake of okay, so I'm gonna tie it into this. So we have a business that does very well and is gonna continue to do very well. Thank the God.
Amen.
So we're gonna be able to get some stuff we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, I might get me an S550 or some big boyish kind of car,
Yeah. Yeah.
Done on 'em.
Right. But I'm still gonna be very hesitant about driving it to church because I serve a church in a area that the medium income is probably not even $18,000 a year.
Right.
So I wouldn't do it just off the perception and the assumptions that'll distract from what I'm trying to say. Now I can do whatever I want to do, but I just feel like when you are for the people, you shouldn't want to be controversial sometimes. So in other words, I wouldn't want my wife to do it because I promise I would fight. But I told him when I first got there, listen, y'all can say whatever you want to about me, but that woman over there, don't play. So
Okay. Tan, you want to post a picture like that?
No, I mean, I'm pretty reserved, so no. But it was just interesting to hear the story. And then, just to think like what he said, where the church is today, so different. So let's worry about other things,
Right. Like
so
your
much
eyes and why you can't see and not treating these diabetes.
more. Right.
Or like, why you have church members who are unable to pay bills and get eye exams and do things like that. Like that, those are the things, or like why they don't have the main meal for the Thanksgiving dinner and things like that. So you all have been doing those type things as well.
Yes.
And that's what I'm happy about, because even in the midst of real life and living life in balance, that calling comes first to serve the people, and you're doing it in many ways. So I'm proud of you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
On yesterday, you were at the Winn-Dixie parking lot, right up the street, right?
Right.
How was that? How did it go?
It was awesome. They had the cars literally backed up to the freeway, right? When we pulled in, because we were in charge of bringing the turkeys there, we had like 250 maybe. We couldn't even get in. So we were like, okay, people, move the vehicles because we actually have the goods, So it was just a blessing, really, to be a blessing to the people. I used to work in this neighborhood, and now to have my own practice, it's a blessing to like see old people. It's like, hey, Dr. Blue.
Right.
And I was like, hey, come see me here.
So you saw people that you haven't seen that didn't even know where you were.
Yeah. That have been looking for me, or, just thought I moved away. It's like, hey, that's where you are. I'm like, yes. And we are giving back to where I used to be and want to grow into.
That's what's up.
I got cussed out about 3 times
For
not giving them more turkeys. And
was it one per car?
We was trying to do that, but when I tell you, it was just kind of in a couple of situations where we just gave it to them because they refused to move.
Yep.
And like one lady, like no lie, soon as I handed her the turkey and was like, "Happy Thanksgiving," she tossed it on the floor and was like, "I need another one." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, she was just the only person in the car, and I was like, "Well, we giving one per car." And she started going off. I saw them give forward there, and I was like, "Ma'am, I know that's not true." And she kept going, so I literally just walked off. But it was just crazy, that wasn't the worst part. The worst part is that we didn't have enough, and it ran out. And so to see the line still long, and it humbled me to know that, like, I can go in the store and buy whatever I want. I got my children, but but when I'm like for people to stand in a line and need something, it ought to make a lot of people put a lot of stuff in perspective as far as like how privileged you are, how much stuff we take for granted. So it was extremely humbling for me because I can remember days when I was at that laundromat and I ain't had no money, and I had to scrape up, quarters and stuff just to wash my clothes at that, the laundromat.
Right.
So it was good, but I expected it because food bring out the worst in people.
Even if it's frozen, like
even if it's free,
free and frozen. Give me 5 of them.
Yeah.
Listen,
but what?
Well, let me tell you something else that's so funny. So a man, he was on foot, right? He was standing there. He's like, "Let me get a turkey." So we gave him a turkey. So then he said, "Let me get a box." 4 came in the box. We're like, "We're not giving you a box." So, he walked off, he left. So a girl came back after everything was over and pulled up. She was like, "Y'all have any more turkeys?" We was like, "No, we all out." She was like, "Oh, because the guy down there was trying to sell one for $7.
What?
And
that's what he
and
wanted
told
the
me to
box
come up
for.
here. So look, a little while later, he walked up with no turkey. So I was like, "Man, where your turkey at?" Man, he cussed me out in different language.
Like, well, don't ask me.
Man, I was like, "Man, this the hood. I've loved the hood, man. It was so fun."
But what I said to him was, we were a blessing to him. so he can get his blessing in
True.
a different kind of way. So
And that's a great way to look at it, Tan.
Hey,
It's
you
really
know,
nice.
If he got Bud Ice, for
it's
the
a
rest
blessing
of
to be a blessing in any kind of way.
And he came back and lit.
So look, we're gonna take a break, y'all. These are the things that happen. We keep it 100 with the conversation. Like, I mean, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, and the turkey, frozen and free. And when we come back, we're going to talk about more of what Blue Vision Center is doing in the community, for the community, and in November specifically. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. You're listening to Vital right here on B90.9 WATV. We'll be right back.
Vixenz, we got the turkeys. B94.9 WATV, the designer t-shirts and apparel. T-Mills Reels, Blue Vision Center, Kingdom Reels.
So they gonna be
139.
Come to
Please, so
Blue.
you can stop getting on the freeway.
Girl,
Why you
leave me
can't see?
alone.
And let me say this, like frames are like I guess a car. You get what you pay for. If you get them offline, 9 times out of 10, they not gonna last long. So we get people to come in all the time to bring frames that they gotten offline and want us to fix them or put lenses in them, and we'll turn them down because when we send them off, it's a strong possibility that they might break. And you'd be surprised how many folks will bring a fake pair of frames in, like we don't know they fake, they break, and they want the real ones as replacements, or bring a cheap pair and want us to replace them with a Gucci frame, And so I just say you get what you pay for, and it's levels. I never known this. It's levels to lenses, and like I said, and frames. We don't. We feel like when people walk out, you're a representation of the service we offer. So if I was, you get what you pay for.
Right. But yet we do have different levels of frames. Everyone does not have to come out spending thousands if that's not your budget level. But if it is, come call us.
We got them gazelles.
That's what I want.
But there are levels to it, and we want to promote quality eye care and eyewear. So yeah,
Is that the slogan?
it's not.
Oh.
But
What is it?
That sounds good though. No.
Oh. So tonight your eyes are our business. So call 205-417-2583 for Blue Vision Center. Oh, okay. What's the website?
www.bluevisioncenter.com, and you can schedule your appointments.
Okay.
And all online.
bluevisioncenter.com. You can handle everything there. So I hear 2 people for sure that need to come in and see you guys and bring children because they need to get 2 pair. And for those who are listening that want to enhance their eye collection, they can come as well. So when you think about the future of eye care and just kind of, so let me tell you, let's go here first because I'm thinking about something that I saw that I didn't, it was disgusting to me. There was a video on Instagram and this girl was like cleaning the bottom of her eye and pulled out like some kind of line of something.
Right.
Ooh. What the hell was that?
So that's actually a syndrome called mucus fishing syndrome.
Good.
Okay. Fishing. Yeah. Okay.
That was nasty.
Think about it. Let's break it down. So mucus, the stringy stuff that you were looking at, that's mucus. So your eyes actually make mucus. The glands around your eyelashes, they make oil and mucus. Okay. To coat your eyes so that your eyes can be moisturized.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you go in there digging about, your hands have bacteria. The bacteria actually promotes your eyes to continually make more mucus. So you yourself is causing the issue to worsen. So usually when people come in, they say, "Yeah, I keep getting this stuff." I say, "First, stop touching it.
First, why you even know to do that? Nasty self."
Well, a lot of people, you wear different eye makeups and lashes and stuff. It can cause those to irritate.
That's a good point.
That's why I don't know.
People then feel like they need to dig it out. Listen, I've been in eye care 9 years now. And people do a lot of stuff, wearing their contacts with their mouths, things like that.
I saw somebody lick a contact and put it back
It's a
in
real thing. So people do a lot of things that you would normally think like, oh my God, people don't do that. Yes, they do. So yeah, that's what that is. So we do advise you not to fish around in your eye. Actually, don't rub in your eye if you can. Your eye itches a lot. But try not to rub it excessively because that can cause another condition that needs serious treatment. And we have those machines and quality contacts in the office too. Another plug.
Don't put your eyes where they not supposed to go.
Like where?
Like
just don't put them where they ain't
supposed
to go.
Okay. Let me ask a question. And that's what I wanted. I was about to ask about pink eye. I was about to ask about pink eye, right? Because I heard that comes from fecal matter, maybe.
Okay, so there's different levels to what's called pink eye. So pink eye, basically, that's a layman's term. So really there's bacteria conjunctivitis is what it's called. Mm-hmm. Or you could be viral or it can be allergic. So bacteria, actually, wherever bacteria come from, can get into your eye. from wearing makeup too long, keeping your eyelashes on too long and not cleaning them, things of the such. Viral is usually caused by colds, viruses, what he's kind of mentioning, any kind of virus. Cold sore viruses can travel up, things of the such. Okay. And allergies. We get allergies a lot. I treat a lot of eye allergies. So seasonal food and anything that can affect your body. Okay, let's think
It
about
can
it.
happen to your eyes as well.
Correct. The eyes are part of your body.
They
Yeah,
need
but
to
we
see the
didn't.
way we
But
look
where
in
does
this
man put his
studio.
eye though?
Right, that's what I want to know.
So what he was touching on
Oh.
is, you can get STDs also in your eyes. If your eyes come in contact with different bodily solutions
Mhm.
and secretions in different areas of your body. So that's what he's touching on.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's secretions, it's solutions. It's
I
your
wish
body.
somebody would put a secretion around my eye, baby. We finna
Well,
turn.
you know,
Put the secretion around your eye, or you put your eye around the secretion. Like,
Well,
Like,
not even-
why would I do that? Like,
well, you
I
can
don't need
actually
to-
get kissed.
I don't need to see it.
trying to see what's up.
But you can get kissed, near your eye, or if somebody have it on their lip.
And they kiss. Why are you kissing my eye, baby?
Well, not
Because-
That's
necessarily
not
kiss your
sexy.
eye. So people that may suffer with cold sores, you can actually have that because it lives in the nerve. It can travel up to your eye. So this is super common. Stuff that I'm saying is not rare. This is stuff that happens.
And I can see that you can kiss somebody
Yeah.
not knowing that they have something.
Yeah.
You touch your lip, then you touch your eye. Ain't so much.
Well, the virus lives within the nerve root, and the nerve roots are all
Oh, it's
connected
just gonna
within your
travel
face,
through.
and it
Okay.
can travel to your eye. Yep.
Yeah.
So stop
Yeah.
kissing.
Period.
I didn't say stop kissing, but just know who are you kissing
and wash your
Right.
hands and all that type of stuff. So interesting. So when you think about eye care, it's way deeper than just
Yes.
2020 vision.
It's way different than 2020. It's way deeper than, I just need some glasses and contacts. So at Blue Vision Center, we actually focus on advanced eye care. We have really high technology in our office, and we are advancing and getting more and more. So we'll hit a year in January. Yeah, so we'll hit a year at the end of January. So we are looking at different facets to bring in more technology, more advanced treatment, because eye care is really technology savvy. It's so much equipment out there that we can do to advance how we treat and how we diagnose our patients.
That's what I was asking about the future of eye care. What does that look like? You think about
It looks like the Jetsons.
Okay.
Honestly, it's so much equipment out there. So much, I call them toys that he tries to stop me from buying. But,
I get
a
it.
lot of stuff is an investment into the future of eye care. You have to advance.
So, what are you all's hours? of
Okay, so
operation?
we are Monday through Friday. On Mondays, we are 9 to 6. That's our long day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are 8:30 to 5:30. Wednesday is our half day, my / administration day, because it's a business. So we are 8:30 to 12:30 on Wednesdays. And then we do one Saturday a month because I have children. I'm very busy, and I'm also in the military. So we do one Saturday a month, and that's from 8 to 3.
So, which means that you can cater to people who actually work and have insurance.
Exactly.
Okay, because I run into the problem of going to places that are just open during regular working hours, and it's
Mhm.
like, well, when am I supposed to get my eyes checked if you only open when I'm at work?
Exactly. And that's what the reason I knew we needed to do at least a Saturday for those
And that
people.
Monday till 6 is
Yeah.
really great too.
Exactly.
okay. You know where I'm going with that.
So I can't tell you which vision plan to get, but a lot of people come in and don't even realize that there's a difference between health insurance and vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so vision insurance offers you discounts and usually pays the majority of your eye exam. Right. We are in network with every vision plan except for one, which is don't say it. Okay. They just they won't accept us, and we know why, but I ain't say their name. But anyway, so right now is open enrollment. And so, it's time in most places. So it's wise to go ahead and get, especially if you're older in age, to go ahead and get it because frames are expensive. Not frames. Frames are reasonable. Your lenses are expensive. And I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say quality lenses are expensive or can be, depending on what you get built into them. But touching on what he says, people don't realize you can use your medical insurance for your eye exam. If you have a medical condition of your eyes, diabetes, glaucoma, dry eye, simple dryness, allergies, high blood pressure, you can at least get your eye exams and we can file it to your medical insurance. So a lot of people say, I don't have vision insurance, I don't get my eyes checked. Well, let's see what we do have. And so we actually specialize in making sure you understand your insurance. We print it out, we go over it with you, and just say, hey, we can actually file it this way. You have dry eye, things like that, even cataracts, stuff like that too. So you don't necessarily have to have vision insurance to get an eye exam. Now, if you want discounts towards your eyewear, meaning glasses or contacts, then that's where your vision plan comes in. You can get discounts that way.
Oh, I got to drop this in. How many of y'all in here use Afterpay or Affirm? I know I do. Y'all,
do.
everything I got,
I like to
just about.
I want to go on Facebook.
Yeah, go and get
Sometimes I just can't.
But
I
sometimes,
can't
yeah.
stomach certain prices. I
Yeah.
have to break them up. But anyway, so we got some. It's called Sunbit. So it's basically Afterpay or Affirm. They do like the same. It's for healthcare. It does the same kind of check, and we like that right there has put so many people who don't have any kind of no health or no vision insurance, because you can use that to pay. And then when your glasses or if you want like some, they're called Cazals, but we know them as Gazelles.
And that's what I want.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
where-
The ghetto.
Because like we had to make it rhyme in a rap song.
But yeah, with Sunbit, it makes things affordable. You can break it down
Let me
to
get them.
pay things off in 90 days, 6 months, or 12 months. And so when your eyewear does come back from our lab, or we can cut them in-house because, advanced technology, we can do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, look at
Who cuts?
He actually cuts them in-house.
I
He does a
know,
lot.
boo.
He does. He's plugging himself, but he cuts them in-house. So we can do that as well. So yeah, it makes it affordable. So when it comes in, you can go ahead and pick it up. You don't have to wait on it like a layaway type situation.
That's what's up. So, any questions that you may have if you're watching? I see the viewers. So, one thing I will say, if you were watching online and just kind of watching us talk, I produced the show and talk on the show. So, there was a moment where maybe you didn't hear. I'm not sure. I hope you did, but if you didn't, sorry. Ask your questions because you may have missed something. So feel free to ask your questions in the comments if you're listening through your radio. Also, the phone lines are open. If you want to call in and talk about what we're talking about, the number is 994-8949, 994-8949. If you have any other questions or thoughts or anything, you can call with them now. The phone lines are open for the rest of the show. We have about 8 minutes or so. So, the other part of what I'm thinking is about children. I know that we talked about like National Diabetes Month. We did that. And for those of you who are living with diabetes, get your eyes checked and get on top of it. That's the main thing I took from that. Like,
main thing.
don't wait, right? But then when it comes to children, I heard somebody mention like 1-year-olds wearing glasses.
Yeah. So
I want to ask that question. Then when I have one more for the last part.
Okay.
So tell me about the children.
We recommend all children get their eyes checked. So this is what the American Optometric Association, what I'm a part of, what we recommend. So we say at least your first eye exam before the age of 1. So there's a lot of programs. So there's a lot of programs if you don't have insurance, like it's called infancy, that you can get a free eye exam for your less than 1-year-old baby. Then after 1-year-old, if everything's normal at that particular exam, we recommend then at age 3 and then every year after that. So just get your kids' eyes checked. So I'm glad you brought that up because we see so many children. And at Blue Vision Center, I just had to say that like that. But at Blue Vision Center, I always say we because we are a team, but we treat children. So there's this particular program that we now have instituted. It's called myopia management. So myopia, remember we talked about this earlier, it's nearsightedness. So it's becoming a epidemic now with all kids being on phones and tablets and virtual learning. So it makes them not see very clearly. And so people that have thick prescriptions as adults, we can actually slow it down to the point where your child doesn't have to suffer like you did and have thick glasses. We can do specialized drops, specialized contacts, specialized devices that they sleep in for their eyes. So as they get an adult, they have a smaller prescription than you.
Boom.
Tan, how do you? So my baby, she need an eye. She needs somebody to look at her eyes.
Yep.
I took her to the dentist and she's totally freaked out. So how do
So you scared to go?
I'm not taking her
Yeah.
nowhere else. So yeah. So how would you see her? Like, what does that process look like?
Yes. So how I do it is if she's really, really nervous, we can actually prescribe the drops for you to put into her eyes while she sleep. And then you can
Okay.
just schedule a morning appointment.
Okay.
I try not to traumatize children because that's not really effective in the long run. And then as adults or young adults, they're afraid to come. And then hence the whole cycle of I'm missing my care and treatment just continues. So yeah, we can do that, or you can do it at any time of day that you might. And then I have candy in the office. We have really good candy. He buys all the good candy. Candy usually helps. It really does. So anything that works. I just don't want them screaming and running out of the office.
I want to say this. So it is this my wife, so I'm supposed to say good things, but really it's amazing to see her work with kids and how I would say 1 out of 10 kids spaz out. And it's not the babies, it's around that 8, 9.
Yeah. Like,
They
what you putting in my
spaz
eye?
all the way out. But the kids, we have machines that can take pictures of the eyes. And because I always wonder, how can you tell if a child can or can't see?
Right.
We had a baby. I mean, she was an arm baby. Yeah, we got her some glasses that kind of like they strap around your face.
Oh, I love
Uh,
those.
And so she had a prescription. And so I mean it's just it's I've always heard people say, I go to your wife, I love your wife, and this and that and other. And we fuss a lot. But when I see her in action in there, she's really, really good at what she does. A lot of times I have to go and kind of be like, Dr. Blue, because she'll be in there explaining so thoroughly
Mhm.
that it'll kind of go over into because we schedule patients so it won't be a clutter.
Right.
And so but she's very thorough. The kids love her. Like I said, we got nice little candy and tokens for them to do it. And so I'm telling you, she does pretty good with kids.
That's what's up. And I mean, she's very thorough anyway. So I could as an instructor, as a teacher, I can imagine you teaching what you're talking about. So look into that. When I hear about eye care and like that being something that people don't just do, like
Yeah.
nobody's just going to get their eyes checked, their ears checked, or to therapy. Like
Right.
those are just the places that you just don't volunteer, or to get a colonoscopy. Ain't nobody just like, well, you know what, or a mammogram.
Right.
I ain't. I mean, we'll go when we know, like if we've heard some
When we
horror
get to that
story.
age.
Right. Right. But
Yeah.
typically you're not just going, let me go ahead and schedule, this ear exam. Who's doing that? Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you don't go because you hear horror stories about the worst part or the hard part. Like, okay, so we talked about in October, the mammogram, the hard part being, oh, they gonna mash your breasts up in these metal plates. Why would I want to go and do that?
It's not that bad.
Okay, so then when you get this colonoscopy, they gonna stick this tube in your butt. Like, why would I want to go do that?
Listen here, let me tell you something. That man was talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I woke up when it was over.
Okay.
Now that's what I felt bad about, that somebody had been inside my body, and I ain't know nothing about it. But it didn't hurt. I'm just saying, I woke up like, okay, you done? He said, yeah, we're finished.
Like,
I was
wow.
So they
Oh.
put you to sleep when you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you go to
okay.
sleep.
Because I'm trying
But
to.
still, right? Like the whole idea, right? These different procedures that you don't look forward to, but you know that at some point you may have to experience.
Yes.
So for an eye exam, somebody broke it down one time and said, yeah, they're gonna knock on your eye with this thing, with this device.
They gonna
Okay.
knock on your
Knock
eye.
on your eye. First of all, I only have 2, and I don't like when things get into my eye. It's aggravating, and I'm scared that I may lose my vision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. And a lot of people have that idea. So what is the hardest part about an eye exam? Let's be 100.
It would be, of course, the dilation drops. People are afraid because it has a slight sting, or burning sensation for some. But it's really not that bad. It's not like fire to your eye. It's nothing like that. You can do a shot. You can definitely get your eyes dilated. So not many people are lining up to do it, but you should,
That's
because
the hardest part, the drops.
to me, that's the hardest part. And then I guess for some, if you are antsy about having your pressure checked, which is
Yeah,
part of
I
the,
was just
the,
gonna
the
say,
glaucoma exam,
I hate that.
because we use a device that actually has to touch the front part of your eye, but we do it as the
That may have
eye
been what they were
is
talking about.
numbed. Yeah,
Okay.
and there's different ways to do it. So there's a machine that I guess
It
touches
blows
it.
air into what is that machine that
So
blow on your
at
eye?
Blue Vision Center, we use only super high technology.
'cause
We
y'all don't
don't
blow it.
do the air blowing.
Thank you.
Because it's a little bit of older way to do it. Not knocking people that do it, but we don't. And so we actually touch the eye because it's a little bit more accurate to do it that way.
That sounds like it hurts.
And it doesn't
see,
hurt.
that's the
It doesn't
thing.
hurt. Your eye is numb. You will feel me literally touching your
Now I'm trying to
eyelid.
figure out how you know my eye. It's too much.
The drops.
What drops?
Listen,
See?
I've gotten before
I'll
I
do the
met my
drops.
wife, I've gotten an eye ultrasound on my eye
Mm-hmm.
to where they literally did, on my eye. It didn't hurt.
Okay.
You got to think a lot of people probably lost their sight to get to where we are now,
Okay.
but now they got it down packed. So it's like I said, we got I fussed when we first opened. I fussed about the furniture and all this equipment, but now I see how important it is in providing like a clean. So we gonna get the machine. We gonna get it.
You're just grouchy.
Right. No, I'm not grouchy. It's just $100,000 machine.
Well, we can get y'all some funding for it.
Okay.
Black business.
These clients,
grants.
people that are gonna go because they just heard y'all on the show tonight.
Correct.
That's
But
why Tiffany up here
to keep
promising
up
stuff.
with the industry, you have to continually
Absolutely.
advance. And that's just the way of our industry. That's where it's going. So if you stay in the old paths, you're gonna get left behind. We're trying to grow.
Yeah,
All right,
and-
Tan, tell 'em.
And not only that, but you're not gonna be knocking on my eye with a silver spatula.
And then too, I'm talking, but I believe in it. But like the machine we're getting, nobody has it here.
All right.
And so one of our goals is to provide like the best experience, and it's Black owned.
Right.
We carry quality, we give quality service. All the employees, they know the second you disrespect a patient, when they leave, you leave. That's why I tell them in the orientation. She nudging me, but we gonna make sure that we give people what they think they
best
have to go to
experience.
other people.
And
Absolutely.
that's important
To
too,
get.
Absolutely.
because you guys are in a part of town
Yeah.
where people ain't got a whole lot of money. So but they're getting like a first class experience.
Exactly.
So that's really important.
And that was my goal. I wanted something nice. Because people think about Black businesses, they think about sometimes poor customer service.
Mhm.
So we wanted to exceed that, especially in a healthcare setting. So the aesthetics of the office, he was quite upset what I spent. But people come in, they're like blown away, and everybody usually mentions how it looks. That was important to me to offer that. Just the looks. You want to go somewhere that's nice,
Right.
and it's Black owned, guys.
Right.
We work hard to keep it this way.
For sure. And that's what we appreciate on a Black owned radio station, on a Black show with Black women. Not
Right.
just saying, hey, if you're not Black and you're listening, we really appreciate you, but y'all got a lot of stuff. So we're catching up. And this is what makes it great. I'm just saying. So we applaud you, but now we applaud ourselves and we shop with us. So that is what we do here. It's vital that we have these conversations, that we talk to our people the way that we talk, and that we support our people who support us. Like I said, Blue rocked with Vital and still does. Just, they running this eye place. And so he don't really have time for us on Sundays, but we talk during the week. That's cool.
Well, I can't be a vixen. I can't be a vixen.
You would be a Victor. And let's talk about that in the next episode of Vital. That all these men be like, well, can I be a part? Sir, you don't have to be a vixen. You're still vital. So, gentlemen, if you're listening, you are still vital for sure. 417-2583 is the number to contact and make an appointment. My final question, my final thought, that lazy eye that you see on pictures, like what can you do about
The
that?
lazy eye that the
'Cause-
guy has on BMF. How did he get that? Y'all ever paid attention to
is
that?
that a
I
Is
don't
it a
watch
contact?
So I don't know the show.
man,
I don't
I'ma have
really
to show
watch
it to
a
you.
lot of TV.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
either.
lazy eye, a lot of people are born with it. So your eye can turn in, out, up, or down. So usually you're born with it, or such conditions like diabetes. If you lose your sight, the eye will turn in or out because the brain is no longer connecting with the eye. So, but those can be fixed with surgery, muscle surgeries.
No, I'm straight. Is one eye bigger than the other?
Who?
One eye bigger than the other?
Is that the question?
Mhm.
So for some people, yes. But not everyone have that. And also not everyone's eyes are the same level. Mm-hmm.
It's a laser eye on them pictures though. You know, like like, you know, I know this because I do see it on myself and my dad. Like it's and his brother, everybody.
So
all
I
of
think
us.
what you are actually talking about is not lazy eye.
Not
It's
really
actually
lazy.
called ptosis. So this is where the eyelid is lower. So at Blue Vision Center, again, we have drops actually for that. So now they've come out with drops that you can instill in your eye when you want to take that picture and
It's
have
kinda
that
cute, but I'm
yeah,
just
to
asking.
have that wide eye look. You
like
instill a drop, boom, your eyes will open up. It really works, guys. Blue Vision Center.
So yeah, I was just wondering. I do like it. I was just wondering.
So you like the laser eye?
I do.
Got a little
It's
bit.
cute.
Okay, all right.
Wait.
See, I'm coming because like she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yes.
listening to every. Like I said, I've been wearing glasses since I was 15.
Mhm.
So I've been going to different eye doctors and stuff, and she's very
Well,
knowledgeable.
everyone that comes on this show is awesome at what they do. They're only the best. We only have those that are most vital to ever grace these airways as a part of our show. I don't know about other shows, but here on Vital, we have only the best.
We appreciate
So
you.
so don't ever get that twisted. If you ever listen to this show and you've ever heard anybody in any profession, unless we were talking to them because they did something wrong, they're always the best. Okay.
We try.
Yes,
We
even
stay abreast.
yes, you're vital. So y'all listening, don't forget that. If you ever heard them here, they are the best at what they do, and it's Vital approved. So if you go in and you say, "Hey, I heard y'all on the radio," you might get the hookup on something. I don't know what. Some
Yeah,
lens
we can-
wipes.
We actually have
This week, if
Yeah.
you come in and say you heard us on Vital, we'll give you 25% off a frame
Oh,
purchase.
listen to him.
aside from your
Listen at
insurance, due
him.
to insurance contracts, we cannot apply your insurance and a discount. However, you want your second pair, remember with your suits or your outdoor wear, 25% off. You got it.
That's what's up. One more time, your address and your phone number.
2818 Lakeshore Parkway, 205-417 Blue. That's 205-417-2583 or www.bluevisioncenter.com.
Amazing show tonight. We have covered so much, like from news stories to local news and local happenings to national eye awareness diabetes month, diabetes awareness month.
Yes.
All of that in November. Great information. Hopefully you all will go and get your eyes checked and take care of yourselves. Also, shouts out to everybody who kicked it with us on yesterday at Bazaar, the coffee bar. The Vixenz Hang happens every third Saturday from 2 to 6 at Bazaar. We had some amazing vendors yesterday. Black vendors that's what happened. Self-care was in full effect. We did not do our talk topic on yesterday, but we did gather. It was a great time. So whenever we say we're doing something, be sure to support. We're not going to beg you, but we are going to tell you. Don't miss it. Also, what else is happening this week? Thanksgiving. So listen throughout the week on Thanksgiving tips because I know some of you have relatives that you don't like, right? Y'all ain't gonna admit that on the air. Some of you are gonna be trying to cook dishes that you don't know how to cook, right? Don't do that. But for all of those tips, tune in this week to Lady Woo's Midday Fun Shui, and we'll talk about those things. How to help you cope with the relatives that get on your nerves, and how to say no. I don't want that pie, Courtney. Keep it.
Say no.
Just that.
No.
See, you gonna get somebody beat up Thursday. But until then, hold it down. We'll be back next Sunday with William Barnes. I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do on next Sunday, to come back and talk about the Birmingham Urban League. Somewhere else is doing amazing work in the Black community. Have a great week. Be vital. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.